Good morning. This is Brian again. I see my brother today, and my dad, my birth dad, my adopted dad's great. So, growing up, I had this really hostile relationship with my dad, my birth dad. When I was in fourth grade, he reached his hand back to hit my mom, and we lived in a log cabin. The only heat we had was this wood heater. It's like 6 feet deep. It's our fireplace poker, 6 feet long. He reached his hand back to hit my mom, and I pulled his poker out of the fireplace, backed him up against the wall with it, put it through his throat. Told him I'd kill him if he ever touched her. That was in fourth grade. After that, suffice it to say, we had a hostile relationship. And then later on, I moved out when I was about 15 or 16 or something like that, 14, 15, 16. We kind of lived with my grandma for a while in the middle and came back. He threw a full quart of beer at me, and a full quart of beer, a glass beer bottle, quart bottle, the size of a milk jug, or 2-liter Coke, a glass, and threw it at me, missed, and busted on my car. But my mom was dead. My grandpa on that side happened to be standing beside me, and he's like, "Oh, just come live with me, son. Just pack your stuff up and come with me." So I lived with my grandpa, my mom's side, for a while after that. But between fourth grade and 15, we were really hostile to each other. And then I moved out and lived with my grandpa some and couch surfed some. Just kind of stayed with whoever let me live with until I joined the Air Force. Lived with my friend Brandon for like a year, I think, off and on. So literally, I just couch surfed. Or I had a bed at my grandpa's house. So it was really hostile. And my dad died when I was 20. And that explains why me and my brother are so different in some ways. Because everything about my dad I want to be the opposite of. If it's bad, like, okay, you drink, you do drugs, I'm not going to drink or do drugs. Not because it's like a super holy righteous thing. It's just because I don't want to be like you. I hate you so much, I don't want to be like you at all, in any way, shape, or fashion, ever, at any price. Even if I don't have any friends, because I don't drink or do drugs, at least I'm not like you. I mean, it was that severe, that passionate about not being like him, and his bad side. And then, unfortunately, I was also like that by his good side. He was a crazy hard worker. I mean, he got fired almost from a construction job because construction jobs are timed, and if they do it too fast, the company loses money. He was working too hard. They kept telling him every day to slow down. He's working too hard. He's like, I don't know any other way to work. So he was like a crazy hard worker and really handy with stuff. Worked on cars sometimes. And he was a cabinet maker and a carpenter and a construction worker, and did all this kind of stuff, really handy stuff. And he was in the military and was like a bar fighter. He'd walk into a bar. Who's the 5 baddest dudes in here? Let's all fight. Who can whoop my ass? And just go in a bar and challenge the biggest person ever fighting. Usually 1, 2. But he was very country in his values, very, very southern, very, very country, very redneck in ways. And I just totally revolted against all of that. The good, the bad, and the middle. The drinking, the drugs, it's good. I revolted against that. The being very handy, the working very hard, that kind of stuff, and it's bad. I revolted against that. And the middle stuff, like just being uber country, I don't know. I think it pushed me to an extreme of trying to be very European when I was in Europe. It didn't work out as much because maybe I get some more country than I thought. I'm more conservative, more southern than I thought, because I can't be like a liberal, feminist, socialist European. I guess I'm just too southern for that. But I tried really hard. And my brother, who was great, was like, I was trying to be the exact opposite of my dad in every way imaginable. And my brother tried to be like my dad in every way imaginable, with some addictions, of course. But, with being a badass, which most people won't mess with him, he's still a badass. And with being a Southern, he is very, very, very Southern. And is unashamedly, very proudly, rebel flag Southern, which is fine. And he took on my dad's good traits. He took on the Southernness, the Southern hospitality, Southern manners, the Southern values. He took on the hardworking. He's like crazy hardworking. He will get it done. He worked at a sawmill and was dragging logs around that normally took 2 or 3 lumberjacks to pick up. He just drags them by himself. He also had my dad's superhuman strength. But my whole life, I've been trying to be this antithesis of my dad, this nemesis and antithesis, because I would just do stuff to taunt him or piss him off when I was younger. But I was trying to be his antithesis my whole life. And my brother is trying to be his reflection. And both of those aren't really good, because it's reactionary. I wasn't really being who I am naturally, and my brother wasn't really being who he is naturally, because he was trying to be like my dad instead of who God made him to be, and I was trying to be the antithesis of my dad instead of who God made me to be. And in, like with my case, in rejecting all of my dad's bad traits, I also rejected his good traits. And I'm just now starting to overcome some of that. I'm still not handy, but I've always had this kind of rejection of it, this fear of it my entire life. Like, if I start to become like him in any way, it's just going to be a snowball effect, and I will end up exactly like him. So I was always like literally afraid to start watching football, even though I hate sports. I'm all on my own. Afraid to start watching football. Afraid to take a sip of beer. Afraid to do anything outdoorsy. Afraid to listen to old country music, because it was just like this to me. It's going to start this slow progression towards being like a dad, so don't even go there. But over time, I do occasionally listen to Simple Man by Leonard Skinner or Sweet Home Alabama on the radio, and I still don't drink beer. I just can't stand the freaking taste of it. It's bread juice. It's nasty. Don't watch football, but I don't yell shut it off anymore if it's on. So I catch myself sometimes doing very Southern things like my dad or my mom would expect me to do, even though I've pretty well rejected being Southern for a long time. And when he was sober, which was rare growing up, when he was sober, it was this big thing about keeping your word. If you did something terrible, just say you did it. Just admit you did it, and you did it. And that's far better than lying about it. And if you need, that's one of these Southern things. Or if you borrow something, you break it, replace it. It's a big Southern thing. Don't ghost the person whose tool you borrowed and broke. Don't ghost them. Buy them another one. If you can't buy them another one right then, just tell them you're gonna buy one soon. Do it. Or if you borrow money, you can't pay it back right away with money, then work it off. But do not ghost them. That's like a terrible, terrible, blasphemous thing to do in Southern culture. So I've kind of developed that with my dad. It's like, don't ghost people. Deal with whatever it is. And my brother's come along to his own polar end of saying some of the bad things he accepted about my dad and mirrored about my dad, to overcome those things. Like, maybe not everything Dad did was good. Maybe I shouldn't adopt all these things. And with me, it's not everything Dad did was bad. Maybe I shouldn't have rejected all these things. And I have a song called For My King. This is the battles I won't free my heart, because for my king they were never enough. And with that father wound, a lot of things we develop into as men is things we avoid, or things we do even, or from that the battles I won't free my heart, because for my king they were never enough. And a man's greatest fear is not being enough. And I knew I'm not going to be a pro wrestler. I'm not going to be a bar fighter. I'm not going to be a mechanic or a lumberjack or a carpenter or cabinet maker. I'm just not good at any of that. Then why try? Why try it all, period? Why even get around it? Why even entertain the notion of doing it in the first place? So that's why I don't play football at all and play sports at all, because I'm not good at it. I will never be as good at it as my dad was. I will never be as good at it as my dad expected or even demanded that I be. So don't try at all. Don't participate. Don't do it, period, any way, shape, or fashion. And my brother was actually naturally